Lamar Jackson's been sensational this year. Kyler Murray's really stood out. Tom Brady is an old-timer who seems like he's ageless. He's been unbelievable. Aaron Rodgers has looked really, really good. If the season were to end right now, who do you think is the MVP? By the way, Dak Prescott, too, sensational. Dak Prescott has been sensational this year, too. Who do you think is the MVP as far as the quarterbacks are concerned?
It's pretty crazy as you're reading through the names. Just like, man, there are a lot of quarterbacks who are having great years. And another name you didn't bring up, Justin Herbert.
Oh, yes.
He's been having a great year,
he's
too.
There,
so,
yeah.
I'd probably say Kyler. I mean, he's 5-0. You have to throw Lamar's name in there. I mean, what he's been able to do. I know people have issues with him as a passer. But,
400 yards?
He's fifth in the NFL right now in passing. And what he can do with his legs. Not to mention with all the injuries the Ravens have had to deal with, beating the Chiefs. Playing in big games and big moments and coming through for them. If I had to choose right now, I'd probably say Kyler. How MVPs usually the ones, the best teams. They are 5-0, so that's why I'm leaning Kyler.
So I want to go back to what you guys were saying about the Raiders, because obviously John Gruden being gone now, this offense is going to look different in some facets. Are you worried about their particular skill players as a whole? Not Darren Waller, because he's obviously great, but the other guys. Like, what can you perceive in comparison to what is lost with Gruden versus what could be gained with a new guy?
It's a pretty interesting circumstance. We've had coaches get fired before, but not usually in a team with a winning record with an offense that's thriving the way that it is. I'm not really too concerned. The guys that I'm still in on. Josh Jacobs, who I think is a buy low candidate. Obviously, like I said, Darren Waller, Derek Carr. He's always going to be a cheap. Guys like him, Kirk Cousins. Those are guys you're always going to be able to buy cheap, who are going to put up big yards. And Derek Carr has been playing well. I don't see really any reason for that to change moving forward.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Well, I'm sorry. The football game is on, and I had just heard Derek Carr compared to Kirk Cousins, and I think that's a little disrespectful. But anyway, so we haven't brought up Matt Stafford's name, and obviously the Rams and Cardinals are going to slug it out a couple times this season, so that's going to decide who MVP really is. Those
slug it out. They already slugged it out.
Well, they played twice.
I know. And they're going to lose again. And they're going to lose again.
No, that's fine. What you think? I'm asking the expert, not the guy with the hat. Thank you.
I'm pretty good. First of all, I'm pretty big with the expert because I'm kicking butt right now when it comes to my picks. So kiss my rear end, buddy. How's that sound?
Sitting, so thank you.
Well, if you want me to get up and pull my pants down, you can kiss it. It was just washed.
Was it just washed?
Just washed.
Oh, all right. Well, continue to sit, please.
Okay.
All right.
I will.
So, running backs right now are a big commodity, and Austin Eckler has really come out of nowhere at all. And we talk a lot on this show about how Ezekiel Elliott does not fit with Mike McCarthy. Do you think the Cowboys at some point, being that they're 4-1, should trade Zeke for draft picks and kind of build up the defensive side of the ball, or let Tony Pollard just kind of run out of Dallas and sign somewhere else where he'll become another Austin Eckler star over midnight?
It's tough when you're in a situation where you're paying your one a lot and your number two is looking at least, in the same ballpark as good. You could, so I've heard people say better. It's tough because, in their offense, maybe Tony Pollard is a better fit. Running back by committee is sort of the new trend in the offense or in the NFL right now. So, I probably wouldn't be trading Zeke. I would be hard-pressed to find a team who's going to be willing to trade for a guy and take on that contract. Most likely what's going to happen, I think, if they do believe in Tony Pollard, they're going to have to cut Zeke. No one's going to trade for him and absorb that ginormous contract because running backs just don't really carry value in the NFL anymore.
By the way, we are talking to Fantasy Scout, writer and co-host of the 49er Verse podcast, Matt Daniel. First of all, Ezekiel Elliott is having a great season. He really has played good football. I am not a big I've been a big Ezekiel Elliott fan coming from Ohio State, but Mike McCarthy's offense, I didn't think he was going to fit. But this year, he's been sensational. It's opened up a pile of possibilities for this offense. With the weapons they have on the outside, it's opening up the field. Tony Pollard, right now, he's played good football. He's not better than Ezekiel Elliott. Okay, he isn't. Talent would show you that what Ezekiel Elliott did this past week was sensational. And if Zeke could play like he did this week, how are you going to stop the Cowboys moving forward? I don't think there's many teams that are going to be able to stop this offense. They're not even 100% healthy. Gallup hasn't really played as much as we expected him because he can't stay healthy. Well, obviously, but once he comes back, you're talking about a three-headed monster on the outside, and you have two running backs that can absolutely beat you inside and on the outside. So, and Dak Prescott, I don't want to hear from any fan that Dak Prescott isn't a great quarterback. This guy deserves every penny that he got in the offseason. Jones probably made the best signing he's made since Troy Aikman was signed and Emmitt Smith was signed, okay? That's how good Dak Prescott has been. When we talk about that quarterback class with Jared Goff and Carson Wentz, the best quarterback in that class, it's hands down Dak Prescott. I don't want to hear from anybody anymore. He is the best quarterback in that draft class. So, my question to you, and my final question to you is, when you look at the NFL right now, we have one 5-0 team. And we look at the competition in the NFC and the AFC. Is there two teams from the NFC and two teams from the AFC that really sticks out to you that you believe will be the final four teams in the NFC, two teams in the NFC and two teams in the AFC, and I want to know why?
So my original predictions coming into the season was Niners-Chiefs. So I don't know if you want my advice on this one. But no, I think out of the AFC, the Chargers, that's my first. Justin Herbert's been playing out of his mind. We see second-year quarterbacks win Super Bowls, still in their rookie contract, still able to play at a high level. Austin Eckler has been playing out of his mind. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen.
Not rookie coaches. That's the only problem. You don't see rookie coaches win championships in their secir year. You just don't. And that's that. And Staley's going to be a good coach. I love what he's doing with the defense. Their defense is special. They've really changed. He's transformed that defense into a top 3 defense in the league. So he's been sensational. But all in all, I just don't. Not that I don't like Justin Herbert. Not that I don't like this team. I don't see a first-year coach going all the way to the Super Bowl and winning. I don't. With the talent that you're going to have to play when you have to go into the AFC. And then, even if you get through the AFC, you got to go through the best NFC team. I don't know if he has it in him yet. Maybe next year, but I believe they will be a Super Bowl contender year in and year out with Justin Herbert.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with you. They're, rookie coaches, don't tend to win Super Bowls, but I really do like him. He's a great coach. I think he's going to be great for the organization. Chargers are going to be Super Bowl contenders for a long time. The other AFC team I'd probably throw out there is, probably the Bills. Josh Allen's just, a great quarterback. They got a great coach. They got a great system in place. I'd be hard-pressed to count them out. NFC, man, Bucks, I'm never going to count out Tom Brady. He's inevitable.
That defense, I don't think that defense is good enough. I don't.
No?
No. I think that defense is – that front seven is getting old. It's getting old. Their secondary is good when they get healthy, but I don't trust that front seven that they're going to be able to stay healthy all season long. And if Leonard Fournette doesn't wake up, and I don't know what he needs to eat. He needs to eat his beef, his turkey, or whatever he did last year in the playoffs. This man needs to wake up because if they don't have a running game, you're not winning. Because if you depend on Tom Brady's arm, you know what the good teams are going to do. They're going to jam the middle. They're going to jam A, and they're going to make Tom Brady throw the ball and put him under pressure. And Tom Brady doesn't play well under pressure.
All you got to do is put Brady in the put him in the dance, and he's going to find a way. That's what he does.
Oh,
best.
He's going to dance all right. He's going to dance all the way to his yacht, his $25 million yacht that he just bought.
Are you sure Gronk didn't buy that?
Oh, it was Tom Brady. I saw it. By the way, it's a nice yacht. By the way, I got an opportunity to check through it. It's beautiful, but he doesn't even have. He's not the breadwinner of his family, anyways. It's his wife.
I'm going to go Rams. That'll be my second team.
Okay.
I think the Rams are going to be the second team in the NFC.
I like the Rams too. I just don't. I don't trust Sean McVay.
By the way, you might have pissed off Leonard Fournette. He's having a hell of a day.
No, well, good. Congratulations to Leonard.
So my last question is, both with fantasy and with reality, with football, we see a lot of hybrids now. Obviously, the 49ers are consisting of a lot of them with Deebo Samuel, who could be a receiver and a running back. Kyle Juszczyk could play all over the place. But other teams have started to do it too. How do you think it'll take over the league? Do you think it'll be more of a trend? Do you think it's really only with these offensive coordinators like Kyle Shanahan, those types of coaches that'll do it? Or do you think it'll be a prominent thing?
I think part of it will be a scheme thing. But, the sort of what Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay, they do run similar type offenses. Sean McVay is another guy who could probably, who would be able to take advantage of a guy's skill set like that. I think that, fullback, that's kind of more of a Niners-Ravens thing. Nobody else really does use the fullback like that. But as far as like Deebo Samuel and Jalen Hurd, another guy who hasn't played, he was a running back in college. But I mean, we see with Antonio Gibson, he was a wide receiver. They don't pass him the ball enough. But, sort of the dual skill set seems to be something that does work. So I could see it becoming a bigger thing going on in the NFL.
Well, we've talked about a lot of winners, right? So obviously when there's...
And I'm looking at a loser, you. I'm loving it.
All right, McDonald's, are you done?
McDonald's, ooh. You going to buy me some fries?
What? I'm going to buy you something, but it ain't going to be fries. Anyway,
Well,
so we've talked about winners. As this loser pointed out, we also have to bring up losers. So now, obviously the draft is going to be a huge sticking point for a lot of these teams. The Jaguars, the Jets, the Giants. Who else is 0-5? Detroit, obviously. So a lot of these teams are already packing up and looking at the draft at this point. They're being 0-5, 1-4. You're not making the playoffs. Do you see a clear-cut number one pick coming out of this draft that everyone should be like, all right, we're going to tank for this guy? Or is it kind of just...
Who's the defensive player from Oregon?
I have no idea.
Kayvon Thibodeau.
I think he's the number one guy. I think he's the most dominant player right now in college football. But go ahead.
Yeah, and I think I agree. I mean, it probably does depend on the team. I mean, if the Jets end up getting the first pick, I mean, they're probably not going to be shipping Wilson unless they're going to pull a Cardinals, ship their first pick for another first-pick quarterback.
Wilson,
I don't think they're going to, but, I mean, I don't really think this year has as much of a clear cut. I don't think it's going to be, the Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, where we just know who it's going to be. Months before the draft, basically, they already had it penciled in. So I don't know. I would say it's still up in the air. I can't give you a for sure number one.
Here's my guarantee: there will not be one quarterback drafted in the top 10. Ooh, that's my guarantee.
It's a weak quarterback class.
There will not be one quarterback drafted in the top 10 this year.
Oh, speaking of top 10 quarterbacks, Marky Mark is on the halftime show.
There you go. And you know
Mark
what?
Sanchez.
He'll teach you.
No.
He'll teach
me how to run into my center's ass. That's what he'll teach me.
He'll also teach you how to sniff some powder. So that'll be good for you.
I can sniff enough powder, thank you.
Well, maybe you can hang out with him. He'll hook you up. I mean, he probably gets really good stuff over there in Cuba.
Maybe Rex Ryan had some of it before he got a tattoo of him.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Rex Ryan actually got rid of that tattoo. He put a smiley face over Mark Sanchez. Anyways, Matt, we would love to get you on as the season progresses when the playoffs continue. Because San Francisco, a lot of people believe, could be a playoff contender. I don't know if I trust Trey Lance to take them to the playoffs. I'll be very surprised if Trey Lance can somehow take this team to the playoffs. I'll take back whatever I said about him. I just don't trust him.
Be starting.
Well, right now he shouldn't. I think they're putting a lot of pressure on the kid and putting him in a situation to fail. Remember, he didn't have a college season last year.
Jimmy Garoppolo did not lose his job. He got hurt.
He got hurt, and I think he's lost his job. I don't think he's getting his job back.
Well, he should.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen. But we really appreciate you joining us. Tell the fans how they can find you on social media.
You can follow me at Matt_NFL_, and you can find my podcast at the 49erverse. Those are the two best ways to find me. I'll have links to all that I have working, all that I have going on in my bio and all that. So,
well, I'll tell you this. You know your 49ers. You know football. You know fantasy. I definitely want to get you on again. And as the season, like probably week 15, week 16, I would love to get you on and your thoughts to the 49ers, win or lose, what they're going to do in the draft and what you think if they make the playoffs, what you think they're going to do. Obviously, you think they're going to the Super Bowl, but let's see what the 49ers do moving forward, Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. Thank you, Bud, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hopefully I will come back on the show
later. You definitely will. I want you to come on. And maybe, maybe next time we can have like a trivia game and you could just whip, Tyler Harrison's ass. So
I'm game.
Well, there you go.
You're the host. Why wouldn't you do the trivia show?
No, because I'm going to host it and you two will go at it and Matt will destroy you. I'd like to.
I'm not going to talk crap to you, Matt, because I don't know you that well. But I'll save it for the red-headed men.
The red-headed men.
You're the blocking tight end alliance now.
Yeah, that was asinine.
Well, I'm a little lost with Tyler Harrison, but
you're not saying Darren Wall's a great blocker? He's got 38 catches for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good.
What the hell does that have to do with blocking?
3 touchdowns, by the way.
Sorry.
Yeah, Kelsey has 4 touchdowns. Anyways, thank you, Matt.
Yep. Thanks for having me, guys.